We'll see. I think if anybody's going to initiate the 2v1, it's going to be Isurus. Maybe they don't want to play the Shyvana into Trundle, but honestly, I think that's just a farm lane, so.
Okay. Well, right now we are seeing a couple of pings actually used here. It looks like they're just getting some positioning sorted out. And I will apologize right now. I am actually on the camera, and it seems like the teams didn't want to line up in the picks and bans appropriately.
Oh, yeah.
So this is going to be really interesting. I will apologize for now for any missed kills, which probably will definitely be coming in here momentarily. But right now, remember, this is a best of 3. We're seeing both teams just kind of set up down the line of scrimmage, I like to call it. And
yeah,
I like having an American here because they understand what I mean when I say that. But they're just kind of protecting their own jungles.
Yeah, I mean, they just because getting those early wards in doesn't really benefit you as much anymore. You just see people just line up down the middle, and I think it kind of makes the level 1s a little less interesting. But I guess people just want to be safe. They're like, oh, we're in this tournament match. We don't want to do anything crazy. You know what I'm really surprised about is they're not trying to late invade the Amumu. If I were Isurus, I'd be like, oh, they got an Amumu. We got to get his blue. We got to get him behind. We don't want him to hit his power spike at level 6. We don't want him to be ganking lanes early. We want to take him out of the game. And Isurus is just basically letting paiN Gaming do what they want to do. And I think it's going to be a mistake.
Yeah, and I mean, with the changes to the Spirit Stone, I remember seeing Dexter actually tweet about this, who actually just got his visa. Congratulations to him. We'll be going back over to North America soon. He's mentioned Amumu, with the current changes, can be one of those strong junglers, one of those hidden OPs right now.
Yeah, I think he's definitely really good, because before Amumu would have a little bit of mana problems. He never really had health problems because his passive was so good on his E. It's so good for blocking damage in the jungle, but he had a lot of mana problems, and I think the new Spirit Stone helps out a lot with that.
All right, well, we are seeing, it looks like our Certi actually start off at the red buff. We're going to have Nerit start off over at his blue buff here. And it looks like both junglers might be down towards the bottom. Not really sure where that will go here, but let's look at mid lane real quickly. How do you think this one's going to go? Because you said Gragas actually should be able to beat Yasuo, or at least in your opinion, might be able to beat him.
Yeah, if you get a good E combo off and Yasuo doesn't react to it, I mean, that's an insane amount of damage. I think it's like 200 damage if you hit him with the body slam. You can definitely win a trade, but once it hits level 6 and Yasuo has his ultimate, and he has, of course, his wall, and you can block Gragas' ultimate, it's a little bit more in Yasuo's favor.
All right, right now we see paiN being very aggressive here at bottom. They're pushing that lane up. Looks like they're trying to rush that early level 2. And we'll see how it's going to work out for them, because you were saying before, like pre-6, they should be able to deal well against Isurus, but at that 6 point, it can be very dangerous for paiN to be overextended.
Yeah, they just have the range advantage. Annie has, of course, a lot more range than Leona, who's the melee champion, and Lucian also outranges Sivir, so they are just going to be able to poke at them a little bit and chip them down so that Leona can't all-in engage. And I'm actually pretty surprised that Leona didn't go with the target shield, which is a little bit of a counter to that, because what happened was paiN Gaming pushed really hard early to hit that level 2 power spike and get their abilities and get the extra stats so that they can bully them harder. And one of the ways to deal with that is to have a targets, and you can instantly kill minions with that. And you can meet them and get level 2 at the same time.
And speaking of early items, look at the wards we actually got from both teams. They all went for the sight wards. They didn't go for the sweeper lens at all, and they kind of want that vision control on, it seems.
Yeah, I don't think that many teams favor getting the early sweeper ward, just because they want to be able to see people coming in. Usually the wards don't even last that long to begin with if they're putting out the trinket wards. So clearing them with the sweeper is not really that profitable, I don't think.
All right, well, let's take a look top lane really quickly. I can actually turn the audios down in a second, but Trundle versus Shyvana. Well, actually, we'll get back to that in just a second, because we do see right now, Nerit, he's heading down the bottom side here, but he will be interrupted by ward. He will be forced to back away.
Yeah, they got so lucky on that. You can see the ward dying right as he walks into that brush. So I think if they didn't see that, and Leona had a follow-up on that, they definitely could have, maybe womboed in with Leona and picked somebody off. Probably the Annie.
Well, we do see both junglers are trying to interact here with these lanes, and Certi, he's been really focusing on middle. He really wants to get Kami going right now, and he is spotted. I believe he was spotted by a ward right there, so we forced it back away. But real quick, since we were just talking about it a moment ago, Trundle versus Shyvana top lane.
I think it's just going to be a farm off until they get their items. I mean, both of them are really tanky champions, and I want to see if the Trundle goes for more of the Blade of the Ruin King build, or the Shyvana goes for the Blade of the Ruin King build, or they just both rush Sunfires. And if they both rush Sunfires, they're just going to be whacking at each other and doing no damage to each other.
And we had Certi trying to go for a gank on the middle here, but forced to back away. Hasn't actually bought yet, sitting on about 600, 700 gold right now. And we did see Nerit actually back out by a very early Sightstone. and it looks like he's been focusing on farming for the majority of the time.
Yeah, he actually went with the fast Spirit Stone. I think he just wants to power farm until 6, it looks like. Early game Zac ganks are not really that good because your elastic slingshot, of course, the range scales of levels. You want to have that range on it, so you can gank from those kind of oddball areas.
Oh, we do see Surtee going in onto a gank. He does leave the bench! That's going to be a kill. First one of the combo. What a gank out from Surtee. He was so patient, but he made it work.
Yeah, that was actually a really amazing play by Surtee, because he committed to the flash bandage toss, and he was confident that he could hit it, and he got the good follow-up, and they just ended up taking him out. And I'm not really sure what the Yasuo wasted his wind wall on. Did you see?
I think he used it, I don't know, I think he used it just early on for no reason.
Yeah,
I'm not really sure.
I think it's a mistake on the Yasuo's play, because he should always leave that wind wall up, because Amumu can never gank you if you just wind wall his bandage toss. And of course, Gragas is probably not going to have enough damage to kill you on his own. So I think he needs to stop using the wind wall for trading.
All right, well, we do see Neret trying to go head-to-head with Surtee here, but he's not really able to push him out just yet. We do see both junglers with one of the buffs each here, and we can take an early look here at CS and how this has been going throughout the game. Bottom lane 38-30, so we have paiN winning that lane just by a little bit.
Well, no, actually, the Leona is 6 CS, so they're almost dead. They're almost dead even. That's pretty surprising, because Lucian and Annie do have such a favorable matchup in the early levels. But yeah, they look like they're farming just fine under the turret before, and they're actually pushing the wave against them. Leona's got some levels now. She has the ability to all-in that Annie or that Lucian if she connects. She does a massive amount of damage, and if they get into an all-in trade, they will probably win.
All right, well, we do see Minerva being very smart. I guess just sitting with that stun, kind of making a gank not happen, but they have no words bottom.
Yeah,
for them, Neret hasn't really come in for a gank yet.
Seems like Surtee just loves mid lane. I haven't seen him anywhere else on the map. I don't even know if I've seen him in the jungle.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely trying to get Kami fed, and I guess that might even show a weakness within paiN's side, where they're kind of hoping that Kami can really carry. But as you're saying before, you remember playing with BRT, and you know he is a damn strong AD carry.
Oh yeah, BRT is an exceptional AD carry. Whenever I play with him, he just has really good mechanics, really good team fighting. But he's on Lucian, which is gonna. I don't know if Lucian can hard carry against Yasuo and Sivir and Leona. All these things, and Zac and Shyvana, they're all gonna be chasing him down and charging at him with like 700 movement speed. So it's going to be up to him to just try to kite those fights out.
Oh, and looks like they actually want to go in here. We do see the engage out of Leon onto Minerva, but he's forced to back away. BRT is actually chasing this down, trying to get some damage onto Genthix right there, but a trade in the end, not too much happening. Oh, and right now, Surtee actually invading over towards his blue side here. They're looking for Dynamux. They get the cone to Surtee. They actually turn this around with 3 men there. The ultimate comes out of Gragas. He's trying to run away, and Ben in there. He's going to be able to help escape with the help of that pillar. But Zac coming in. He does it in the knockup, but he's not even going to slow off of that. And paiN going to lose 1 man. Surtee going to go down, and Dynamux is going to get his revenge on him.
Yeah, it's a really good rotation by Shyvana to come down to the top lane that fast. That's really what decided that fight. He got there a little bit before the Trundle did, ended up getting his damage off, and they popped the Amumu. So it was a 3v2 almost instantly, because Kami was actually out of mana midway through that team fight.
Yeah, really unfortunate for them. And Surtee did use his ultimate in that fight, but just wasn't enough, unfortunately. And bottom lane, we did have a little bit of a skirmish going on. We see the CS gap spreading a little bit in favor of paiN here.
Yeah, that's a huge wave though, so they're gonna catch that. They're gonna catch most of that back up.
All right, well, we do see that happening right now. We actually have the red buff and blue buffs respawning here. Gonna see Surtee, well, actually BRT actually get engaged on here. And in the harass, it seems like it's not really doing too much. They just straight turn on a Sivir here, get some good ship onto her, and force him to back away a little bit.
I think he's just trying to give Sivir a little bit of breathing room so that he can farm that big wave under the turret without being poked out.
And you were talking about Trundle a little bit earlier on. You do see that Negatron code come in, as well as that Vampiric Scepter, so...
Yeah, it looks like he's actually gonna go over the Blade of the Ruined King, and then Shyvana's actually going for a Sunfire Cave. And I think that's a mistake on her part, because she should see that the Trundle has an Negatron Cave, and that's going to negate a lot of that damage that Shyvana's putting out. I think that she probably should have gone for more of like a damage-oriented build, like a Blade of the Ruined King. I don't think stacking tank stats against the Trundle is the best thing you do.
All right, we do see bottom lane, and I kind of missed it, but we do see engage back on Leon. Still, they're committing for this. I want to say that was Isurus engaging onto Minerva right there, based on his help, but they're able to turn that around with just the pure damage they had, and we saw Isurus. They were 6, but they just didn't have the help they needed to stay alive.
Yeah, Lucian didn't even use his ultimate in that fight either. But Annie's all-in potential, I think they turned level 6 right off of that kill. Annie can just combo so much damage with her AoE stun. And remember, with this patch, Annie's stun actually scales with her level. So when she hits level 6, it gets a little bit more in line with what it used to be.
All right, well, right now we do see Dynamax looks like he was heading down towards bottom. We see actually a lot of pink wards invested over on Isurus' side. We see one over towards the top side towards blue. We see one watching that tri-bush area. So you do see Kami actually go for the engage on Dynamax. The ultimate does some good damage. And with that blue buff, the cooldown's not going to be that long.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to block Gragas' whole body with his wind ball. He's just like, no, you're not coming in here with that.
We do see Kami, he was actually just... It looks like this seems to be the position to put pink wards in. I think that's the second one they've been able to kill off right there. And just going to turn back to lane with that blue buff. In the meantime, we do see in the top lane, Venom just farming away, 79 to 66 CS. Now, pretty much going to be going into 83 here. He has a nice lead as well, and just across the board, minus middle, paiN has the advantage.
Yeah, I think Shyvana missed a lot of CS when she actually roamed down to get that kill on a Mumu. I think there was a wave that was pushing into her turret, and she basically just sacrificed that wave and decided to help her team out instead.
All right, well, we are about 10, 11 minutes in here, and we were talking earlier about, what comps thrive on what kind of situation, and Isurus, it's obviously not the best situation they want to be in, but it's definitely not something they can't come back from.
I think Isurus, the real backbone of their team comp is that Yasuo getting fed and him getting kills and getting a CS lead in lane. He has a small CS lead and he has a kill, but I don't think he's getting the amount of farm and kills that he needs to carry this game. I think it's going to be in paiN's favor if it goes late game.
All right, we see him trying to farm up some CS here, trying to keep that advantage, which he currently has about 5 right now. We do see Nerit heading down towards the bottom side of the map right now.
Still has his ultimate up too, but I think he's going to get spotted by that ward.
And Surti going to be definitely spotted right there. And that actually ward will disappear in just a second. So I'm assuming he's going to see it there and know that he was spotted in the end.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to bait out killing that pink ward. They're trying to bait them into a team fight. But of course he got spotted on that ward, so I don't think that they're going to take it.
Because you have, like I said before, a lot of pink wards invested on Isurus' side. I think that's maybe the 5th of the game we've seen actually put down. That's a lot of money to invest early on.
I mean, a pink ward's only 100 gold, and before you would be buying green wards anyways that cost 75 gold. I think, and pink wards last forever. If you don't kill the pink ward, I put pink wards down in games that have lasted the entire game. So I think they're really cost effective. Like that pink ward that's in that corner brush that Nerit just walked by, I guarantee that ward lasts until 20 minutes in the game. So I think they're just overall more cost effective than green wards if you can get them in the right spots where you don't think people are going to be running directly into the brush.
All right, well right now we bottom side, and they were spotted that pink ward that you were just mentioning.
Okay, well there's 20 minutes, right?
But still, I mean, it potentially just saved 2 people's lives on Isurus' side, so definitely working out in the end for them. But Dragon, 12.5 minutes in, obviously it was changed in a Season 4 patch. It's not worth as much early on, but we haven't really seen paiN or Isurus even kind of go for it just yet, or even hint at it.
Yeah, both teams have amazing early game Dragon fight teams. I mean, they have a Mumu, Gragas, Annie, like this huge Wombo comp team. And Mumu's actually not that bad at doing Dragon. The tiers do percentage-based damage, and the E's really good for tanking Dragon's damage. So I'm kind of surprised that paiN didn't go for the early Dragon. They've been pressuring that Sivir Leona in so hard.
And Surti is heading down towards the bottom side. He will be spotted out by a ward right now. In the meantime, we are seeing the top side. Dynamax trying to go for a gank here. We've talked to Portuguese casters, and they're saying that, Venom is really kind of the backbone of the team right now, and he's been doing a solid job here. He's staying alive. He's out-farming his opponent. He's keeping his turret really healthy here, and he's actually get dove on by 2 people. And I wonder how this is going to go. But you see Shyvana actually go for the engage. They do get the knock-up, and they chain it into the Yasuo ultimate of Venom. He's kited for such a long time, even forcing the flash out of him. And we almost see Shyvana go down, but Dynamax picks up that kill. So there's the feat that we were talking about, where Dynamax needs to start picking up something if he wants to be able to carry that team.
Yeah, it's such a shame that his Trundle Pillar was on cooldown when he decided to go for that 2v1 dive. I think he could have definitely picked up that Shyvana kill if his pillar was up. But you could see just how tanky. He has no health items outside of the door and shield, and he managed to tank both of them for that long. So that's just what Trundle Ultimate does. It makes you so tanky. He sapped all those tank stats from that Shyvana's passive and her Sunfire, and he just gave them to himself. Yeah,
poor Cholito, that will be... Well, not poor Cholito, sorry, that's actually a second assist for him, but a nice dash out of BRTT that actually does pull Less Smart a little bit far away from the rest of his team, but I mean, with the early 6 CS that he was able to get, he was able to invest in that side stone early on to give him that extra tankiness in lane.
Yeah, I think it's, I've seen a lot of mistakes out of paiN Gaming. They saw that 2v1 dive top, and their reciprocation was just go hold the top tower. They should be, look how pressured their bottom lane is. They had this wave pushing in, they have so much pressure on them. They should go for Dragon when they see those 2 people top. Like, that is a free Dragon. That's free gold for your team.
All right, let's see if it comes back to bite him in the ass a little bit later on. And I definitely agree with you like that, because the top turret, it really didn't take that much damage either way. It was still very healthy at the time.
Siobhan was really chunked out off that gank. She obviously can't push anymore. And Yasuo has to go back to mid. Kami is pushing that up really hard. I think that paiN Gaming really needs to be putting more emphasis on the dragon.
All right, well, let's see how that develops later on in the game. We do see a pink ward coming out of paiN right there in that bush. Well, it's not really even a banana bush anymore, since it isn't even shaped like it, but
it's a half-eaten banana.
It's a half-eaten banana. It's like the ones we had yesterday at Brazilian Barbecue. But we do see Kami pick up the blue buff here, and we do see 4 men heading down towards this bottom side. There currently is a ward on Dragon for Isurus right here, but it doesn't really care because the bottom lane of Isurus is actually back at base.
All right, that was actually a really good call by paiN. I'm sure their bottom lane said, hey, like Sivir and Leona, they want to go back to buy. They're not going to be here. So they're going to take advantage of the fact that they have the numbers, and they're just going to go and take the free Dragon. That's a free 180 gold for each person. Remember, Dragon doesn't give quite as much gold in the early game. It actually scales in the late game, gives more gold as the game goes on. But still really big global objective for them.
I swear I just heard of Azusa.
I think that was an air horn.
It could have been that. But I think we're going to hear more of that. I think I remember that from last year as well. But we do see a potential bait on that pink ward like you're talking about. It actually forces the flash out of Leona.
That was a necessary flash. Maybe he could have died there. I'm not sure. He got a little scared. I don't think that he needed to waste his flash there, though.
So a little bit unfortunate for him, but Surti now visiting towards this middle lane here, and he's actually not spotted coming in. It looks like if he can land the Spanish shots, this can really open things up. We see the wall unused, but it's in such a bad position. The ultimate comes out of Arumu. That is going to be a kill over for paiN, and Surti's the one to pick that one up.
Yeah, Surti's has Yasuo's number. He has been all over this mid lane.
Oh, in the bottom lane, we see the animal to come in onto Severe. They're chasing him down. He almost goes down. It's the flash. BRTT's going to pick up that kill. Now Minerva, he's in trouble. He's getting a couple of towers in there, but he's still alive, and they back away, and that is a second kill coming in for BRTT.
I'm actually really surprised that the Lucy and Annie lane is bullying out this Sivir Leona lane that hard. I mean, Sivir does have a little bit of problems in the lane, but I think the Leona should be able to carry them through. If Sivir's fast in her spell shield, she can block a lot of damage, and Leona should just be able to all in one of the people bot lane and just instantly pop them. And I'm really surprised that I haven't seen that yet.
That's really unfortunate for them, but we do see Shyvana going for Venom here in the top side. Cholito doing some decent damage to him, I guess, but it's a trouble. He has the ultimate tick, and he has the health coming in back from that, and we see the first of the game finally go down for paiN here over towards that bottom side of the map.
Yeah, he actually went with the Spectre Scout top lane. I think he's not going to quite rush the Blade of the Ruined King. He wants a little bit more health, a little bit more magic resist, so he doesn't get potentially popped when they dive him or if he gets a bad trade. But I think that's overall a good build. I like that. Just hopefully he goes into the Blade of the Ruined King after that. I mean, it looks like Yasuo is going to be going top to try to get that. Okay, he sees that Trundle actually knows what's up. I think he got spotted on that ward right there. So he's going to back off the tower completely.
Yeah, funny enough, he's unfortunately not going to be able to get the extra kill that he needs. He's currently 2-2, does have that static shift done. And speaking of static shift, walk us through the items you currently see. You talked about the Spectral Cowl already for Venom in the top side, but what else is being built up here?
I mean, Amumba opted for the Boots of Mobility, and with the Ancient Golem, he really wants to be a presence on the map. He wants to get around the map, and he wants early game presence. And the Zac actually went for he's trying to rush that Locket. I guess it's a really good pickup here. I mean, paiN Gaming has a lot of magic damage. They have a lot of AoE damage. He just wants to be a buffer for his team when he goes in, and he wants to basically make it to where they don't instantly die from just the combo of Annie and Gragas and Amumu. And
right now we're seeing that 4-man stack on the bottom side out of Isurus here. It looks like they want that turret to come down, but Kami, he's there to back him up. Surti, their names are so similar, coming down as well, able to defend against this. And Shyvana was, in the meantime, able to take down that top turret. So we're even at 18 minutes, 1-1 turrets, 26.4 thousand gold in favor of paiN to the 24.1. But paiN does have that dragon advantage over Isurus.
Yeah, and they have the timer on the dragon, so they're going to know when the next one comes up. I mean, there was a ward on it when they killed it. So I think honestly the game's going to get decided by the next dragon fight. I think you're just going to see this huge dragon fight, and everybody's going to die from one team.
Oh, we see Nerit going in right there. Unfortunately, wasn't able to lock down BRTT. And yeah, with the Season 4 patch, like, do you see a lot more games decided towards dragon fights?
I think it's actually less so than it was before because, of course, early dragons they gave so much more gold than they do now. Mm-hmm. But the mid-game and late-game dragons, that people will fight dragons even when they don't need to. And especially against a team like paiN Gaming that has this really nice wombo comp, I think they want to go for that dragon. They want Isurus to try to contest that dragon. And like that's how they're going to win the game.
And right now with having a 1-0-1 Gragas, who actually has surpassed his opponent Dynamax in CS, has given him an advantage right there, about 35 CS currently. We did see paiN take down that top turret in the middle one. Already down pretty low on health as well, so we're seeing paiN kind of, I want to say, start to make their move.
Yeah, and the Trundle got the Blade of the Rune King, just like I thought he would. Really good pickup by him. He actually, I think he has kill potential now on the Shyvana. He has so much percentage health damage with his ultimate and the Blade of the Rune King that I think if the Shyvana gets down to half health, he might instantly die to that combo with Ignite.
All right, we'll see how that goes, as he actually be taking red buff for himself here. But in the meantime, paiN going for a push on this middle turret, and Dragon will be up in a minute and 30 seconds, so it looks like they want to start to make the move towards that yet again.
Nice little dodge by BRTT on the Zac jump.
He doesn't want to get knocked up by him. It's followed up by a Yasuo, but we do have in the meantime Severe pushing bottom lane. Genfix able to pick up that one, but we do see the mill turret go down. We see Surti actually going for the engage here, but that's not the man he actually wants to take down. It looks like they're going to keep pushing here. Severe has to back away because we have a 5-man stack out of paiN pushing middle.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be able to wave clear that out, though. Yasuo is back. Everybody's coming out from base. They have Leona there. I don't think that they're going to quite keep pushing this. I think paiN wants to get set up for that dragon, and they want to be ready and waiting for that. Hopefully they try to get a pick and make Isurus face check into that and just wombo them. So we'll see.
And right now you're seeing top lane and bottom lane pushed up for Isurus here, and looks like paiN going to respawn by taking that down really quickly. They know they have about 40 seconds before Dragon does respawn. But
the real problem here is that Trundle, he's having to farm out that huge wave top that was pushing into the turret. So hopefully he just clears out that wave, and he doesn't clear this one and runs straight down to Dragon. Trundle runs really fast with his movement speed increase on his W, but I don't think he's going to get down there quite in time.
Well, right now we're actually seeing paiN. I was wondering, we're not seeing them really go for any vision control of Dragon right now. I mean, they do have, I believe, one ward down, over the wall right there, but they don't have control anywhere else just yet, and it seems like that might give Isurus the chance to really pull this one off, because Dragon up in about 10 seconds. You can see Isurus there. They're prepared for it. We finally just see Venom coming down from the top side, but it's going to be a big 5 out of 5 developing here. Yeah,
BRTT got that really big wave pushing bottom. That's going to push into their bottom turret and stack up. So it's a really smart play by him to get that there. That's going to put pressure on the map. But it looks like they're a little out of position on the Dragon. I don't think that Isurus is just going to try to force that right in front of them, though, since they're so split.
Oh, and Cersei, he's just going straight in. He's pretty much a Mudu. He isn't really afraid of anything, but he's actually just forced them out by himself, with the rest of paiN finally coming around to help him out as well. But look where Leona is.
Yeah,
Smart's not really in a great position. I mean, it could be a potential good engage as we see Zac actually hopping over the wall looking for it. We see the ulti come out, but Yasuo hasn't come in just yet. We see the ulti come in. It's not doing that much damage as the Gragas ulti spreads everyone away. But we're going to see Dynamax be the first one to fall. Probably very low. He's run away. He's going to go down in area. And so far, just a 1-for-1 trade, but they're still committed for this fight. Cholito in the backside of paiN's team. He's still tanking them up, and he's taking them long enough for the rest of his team to pick up some kills. It's a 2-for-2, but now we get a double kill over to Severe right there, and that might have just won on this Dragon.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised that Zac Elastic Slingshot managed to get such a priority target like the Gragas, and he didn't react to it that fast. He ended up getting layered with the CC from Yasuo's ultimate, and of course the Leona follow-up. So they managed to take out the Gragas really fast, put him in a bad position, and they just cleaned him up after that. They have Sivir's ultimate, and gives him so much movement speed. I
really want to say Cholito was like an MVP of that fight, because he was just so damn tanky. He was tanking 3 people of paiN, and because of that, we saw, Genfix able to pick up a kill or 2, actually picked up a double in the end of that, and was just able to stall so much time from paiN because BRTT doesn't really have any way to facilitate this armor pen yet.
Yeah, I mean, with the Gragas out of the picture, they don't, even if Trundle ultimates the Shyvana with that build, unless they're hard focusing her, they're not going to be able to bring her down, and she's just going to be way too tanky. And of course, Zac also has Locked completed. It's going to give his team a lot of extra magic resist. A lot of paiN's team is pretty heavy on the magic damage. Trundle's ultimate's magic, Gragas is pretty heavy on magic, Amuma's heavy on magic, and of course Andy's heavy on magic. So I think it's a really good pickup to rush that Locked here.
Well, we are 23 minutes in here, 6-5 in favor of paiN so far. The gold lead not as big as it was before, but speaking of items, as you were talking about, we do see a very early Chalice coming out of Annie here.
Yeah, she actually went into it. She wanted the Mikhail's Crucible, but I'm not quite sure. I mean, they have Leona CC, but that's the only real thing that can remove. So I'm pretty surprised that she opted for that rather than going with something like a Shirelia's or Talisman of Ascension. Rest in peace, Shirelia. But yeah, I think that would have been a lot better purchase. They can run away from Isurus' team comp a lot easier because, I mean, Sivir gives so much movement speed with their ultimate, and they need something to counteract that. So I really don't like that Chalice or that Mikhail's Crucible pickup on the Annie.
Oh, right now we might even see the engage come in here, paiN. They're waiting on the side. They did get spotted by that ward. So for them, they won't go for the engage maybe they wanted to have happen here, but Cersei does have his ultimate available. Kami has it up as well. Everyone is ready for the fight. We do see actually Neri as the first one engaged, as a pillar actually zoning out the bottom side of Isurus, and I like what they're doing top side. They're actually just backing out. They're not going to come in for this fight. They're going to wait for that pillar to be down, and maybe we're going to see that engage come in momentarily again.
Yeah, really strange use of the Sivir ultimate though. She just popped that and like, take that. She just ran away.
I can run really fast away from you. But paiN, I guess, knowing that, they're starting to push that middle, and both teams, at least to me, they seem to fight now.
Yeah, I think paiN Gaming was pretty confident for that dragon fight, and it didn't really go quite in their favor, even though they have a small gold lead still, so I think they're a little hesitant.
Right now, we do see this boots mobility picked up by Smart right there. I actually really like that pickup as well to help facilitate and engage for him with the help of Severe on the back of that.
I think the real thing to look at here is how far behind the Sivir is for the Lucian. BRTT is pretty far ahead. He has that Triforce completed already. He's working on his last Whisper. Actually, Sivir's sitting on quite a bit of gold, 1,000 gold, and she's rushing straight into that last Whisper build, which she just picked up. I guess she wants to melt the Amumu and the Trundle, but to be honest, they don't really have that much armor yet. They have the armor from the Ninja Tabby. I mean, there's an armor from that Hourglass on Gragas, but not quite that much, so I'm not sure why she'd rush that straight out.
Now, let's see how that works out here, and we're seeing right now, Isurus, they're playing really confident, which they haven't really been doing much so far in this game, and I like to see a little bit of change in style, considering that last fight they won pretty heavy-handed.
Yeah, they've actually been grouped since that last dragon fight. Then they're trying to force objectives. They're trying to get this mid turret.
Oh, we see the dive in the back with the ultimate maneuver. He's going to go down. He's not going to get his stun off on anyone, unfortunately, as they're still diving under this turret. Surti forced to back away, popping that locket, but we see Yasuo follow down as well. We saw actually Gentex in the backside taking down the turret instead of going for the fight, but they pick up the 2 kills. They only lose 1. They're still committing to this fight as Gentex going after Venom here, and they re-engage Leon on a Kami, but no one's there to back him out. Nair even going to go for the jump. Knocks him back. That is going to be a kill coming for Gentex yet again here, and BRTT, he was just pushed out of the fight, not able to help out at all, but he's chasing down Severe, who flashes out of that, and Smart now trapped by himself, trying to survive, trying to get away as Nair comes in. It's not going to be enough. He's going to fall, and he's actually going to flash over the wall right there, and it looks like that's going to be the end of the fight, but a crazy, crazy fight from both these teams.
Yeah, I think Isurus just stayed around a little bit too long, but Nair is playing really well with that Zac. He's getting amazing initiates on priority targets every single fight, and if there's an MVP this game, it's definitely him so far.
Gentex, I mean, he picked up a double kill early on, able to pick up another kill right there, able to get a couple assists behind that as well. Still on another 1,000 gold, and he's slowly catching up to BRTT in total gold. 8.7 thousand to the 9.3. He's really getting there, and with that last fight alone, with BRTT out of position, I mean, he completely shined where BRTT just couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, of course, BRTT came in, cleaned up a lot of the kills at the end of that fight, but that's mainly because Isurus overstayed in that fight. I don't know, I think the next Dragon fight's going to be really big. All their ultimates should be back up by then. People have all their priority items by then. Lucian still doesn't have his last Whisper, which is kind of weird because they have this really tanky Zac, this really tanky Shyvana as their front line, and of course Leona. You really want an early last Whisper to pierce through all that armor they have. But yeah, I think once the Lucian does get his last Whisper, maybe gets a little bit of tank stats to tank out their opening burst, I think this will be a much different game in the team fights. Because right now Zac is just coming in, he's getting the good targets, and they're just instantly popping them and taking them out of the fight.
Very true, and right now they're starting to make a move, I want to say a little bit towards Baron here, but paiN have so many wards down in the vicinity to really help out with this. And Minerva, he's trying to go for an engagement, he's trying to get the stun. They do land it, they have 2 more people to back him up, and this is going to be a death. Smart does have flashes, he's in that last fight, but a nice ultimate does slow them all down. He does drop in the hands of Venom, and now paiN have control of what they want to do with this game. They could push middle, they could go for Baron. There's the air horde again. It's going to be there more and more throughout the day and tomorrow.
Yeah, Leona's just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Basically going around clearing wards when they don't really have any vision in the enemy team. Just ended up getting caught out for it. I don't think that paiN's going to get too much off of it, but yeah, its score is still gold. I mean, you're still taking away all their vision clear around Baron. I mean, maybe they're going to try to force Baron around there. I don't think that they should have. They can't really push any towers off that either because Kami used his ultimate when he ended up picking out that Leona. Even though it has a really short cooldown, they didn't really have any ultimates to take any objectives off.
I'm a little surprised to see paiN not actually ready for a dragon when it comes up. I mean, obviously they didn't get the last one, but they have Leona down, who has just respawned. They had the ultimate down, which is such a key factor for Isurus to win these fights. And right now, Nair, he's kind of getting caught here. Chilito's off to the side. He could go for engage onto the backside. A nice ward actually just spot with the rest of the team. Surti goes in, lands onto Leona and to Shyvana. Not the prior targets they want to make happen, as we see Yasuo finally from the side, goes into the front side of the team, hitting Surti with the ultimate. And unfortunately, he's able to flash out and escape. But now Nair, he's low. He's forced to run away. Yasuo getting dropped very low. He gets taken down by BR BRTT, and now Ned, he's forced to run away, and Ben, he's not even being touched. You see the top side, Kenny taking out a kill right there. Let's trying to run away. They're not going to get the stun back onto him, but maybe Kenny can get the kill. No, the barrel misses, and they're still chasing down the Shyvana. In the meantime, BRTT wants this kill.
He's bloodthirsty, man. He's going to chase him to the end of the earth.
Oh, wow.
I wonder if he's going to try to run through the base.
Oh, he just got tagged up right there, so fortunately for him, he's not going to be able to get that that suicide. He's actually trying to chase him down. Bennett flies from the wall, gives the kill to BRTT, and while all this is happening, we're seeing a push come out of paiN on this middle turret. Yeah,
I think the Shyvana was trying to make a power play, get the Lucian when he comes around the corner, and just try to pop him. I thought he was going to try to run through the base or try to get out through the red side jungle. You know, that fight was really interesting because Amumu only ulted the Leona in that fight.
Right.
And I'm really surprised that they ended up having such a successful fight off of that. I mean, they killed 4 people for 1. I don't know. I honestly don't. I think Lucian was sitting there doing free damage in the background. They don't really have that many. They don't really have that many people to get on the Lucian if he's just sitting in the back and just railing on their tank line. I mean, looked like the Leona. Maybe ulting the Leona was actually a good thing for them. Like, the Amumu stopped the Leona from going in on the Lucian. Ended up getting a ton of free damage off on the targets. Remember, the Zac got chunked out by the Trundle at the beginning of that fight. He was like half health, I think, when that started. So I think their goal there is just to protect the Lucian and to just wipe out that tank line.
If I'm not mistaken either, we actually saw Lismar use his ultimate defensively instead of offensively, like you're saying. He wasn't able to lock down BRTT because they couldn't really trail the kill onto him.
Who's your ult defensively?
I believe it was Leona actually used it defensively there when he got caught.
Yeah, when the Amumu went in on him. I think he panicked. He didn't get the ult off of the priority targets he wanted. And I think that's one of the main reasons they ended up losing that fight.
All right, we'll just had a quick little pause right there. Looks like the game is back underway currently. And why don't you take us through items real quick, because we're 30 minutes in. paiN has had the biggest advantage they've had all game so far, 13-9 in kills, 48.1000 to 43.2. They have a lot of major items completed, and we saw alone just how damn tanky Venom was.
Yeah, I think you're going to see paiN coming out much stronger in team fights now. Lucian has the last Whisper completed. That tank line that Isurus has is they're going to melt like butter now. A mid to late game Lucian just destroys tanks. He just has so much damage output. Between his culling or his passive, which gives him an extra little tap on his auto attacks, I think he's just going to melt those tanks like butter. And of course they have the Trundle in there. If the Shyvana decides to dive in and try to pop somebody, he's going to get Trundle ultied. All those tank stats are going to go away, and he's just going to die.
It looks like he's actually trying to build towards that random wins open right now. Maybe at least get a slow so they can keep that engage going on, but it seems like paiN just have them beat in fights. They're playing it smarter, and I agree with you. Like, seeing Cersei engage on Leona and use the ultimate pretty much only onto him, it seemed a little bit risky in the beginning, but they made it work so damn well. And unfortunately for Neri, he's just not able to get an engage that they want, that they know they can win, because paiN, they're tired of being split. They're tired of not being grouped up. They're staying in middle. They have the top lane pushing. They have the bottom lane pushing. It's basically, they're in control of this game right now.
Yeah, and I'm still surprised that this Shyvana is just deciding to build tankier and tankier. I don't think that they have enough damage threats on Isurus Gaming to kill paiN Gaming's backline or even their front line. I think they need more damage.
There's the engage right there. Back actually go straight into the backside. Maneuver just caught the ultimate out of Mumu. Locks down 3 men, locks down the back or the front line of Isurus, and they're forced to just completely back out. You see them. They're trying to go for Dynamax. They're trying to keep him out of this fight. He's going to go down to Kami right there, but the rest of Isurus going in. They're just falling one by one. Shalicha goes down. paiN BRTT so low. He does finally drop here, but at what cost is Kami now chasing down Genthix right there, who's staying alive. He's somehow surviving with that bloodthirst, but he finally does fall. And we might see that first ace coming here for paiN.
And they're just going to sit there and end up killing the Zaku. It's a shame the jungler's not there. The most beautiful thing in the game is smiting from the Zakus and just casting their quadra kill.
Kami getting the quad right there. Big plays out of him. Fantastic job. He's now 6-1-9. You see BRTT 6-1-6. That CS history that he has completely working out for these AD carries for that marksman role. And they're going to, I wouldn't say get the inhibitor. Turret, but I'm not sure about the inhibitor yet.
I gotta say that I'm a little bit unimpressed by the Yasuo's win walls. I mean, he could basically carry the game by himself if he was able to hit a lot of the clutch win walls, and I haven't seen any of them. I noticed it during the laning phase he was using a lot of them really poorly. So I don't know. I kind of saw that.
I agree. I know what you mean. Like, because he could be blocking so much more. He could be blocking the disruption out of Gragas. He could keep maybe Mumu from going for the engage that they want. It's just he uses it, and it does. I don't think I've seen it really block anything
He'll
yet.
like put it behind him or something.
Yeah. I mean, the last one he actually ran away. Like, he tried to play defensive, put it down in front of him. But the thing is, he actually dove into the back line anyway, so it didn't really do anything.
Yeah, I just not liking the way that they're using Aso, and I mean, considering he's one of the huge damage sources in their team comp, I think it's really on him. Like, it's on him to carry this game or to lose this game at this point.
So what does he do then? I mean, look at his items. He has Infinity Edge, the Static Shiv, he has the Hex Trigger done. He's going for more damage, but he's not surviving when he goes against Kami, who's just, I mean, Rabadon's Death Cap, Sonya's, Athene's, Void Staff. I mean, he hits so damn hard.
Yeah,
and he doesn't block
way
anything,
too much
he's
armor
dead.
at this point. I mean, his ultimate, of course, does give him armor pen, but, I mean, outside ultimate, they just have way too much armor. I think he needs that last Whisper right now.
Let's see if he does change up his build a little bit here. We're seeing Isurus still be very aggressive, and it's really weird for me to see this, because usually when you have paiN be this far ahead, they're the ones putting wards down aggressively, trying to control the enemy jungle, but Isurus is the one actually to do it for themselves. They're trying to spot where paiN is coming from, and he won't control that Baron, but we see right now Xerxes coming up from the backside. He actually might get an engage here if the rest of the team actually gets there to defend against it, but they said forget it. We know what they are.
They're just going to push down mid for this, get that free inhibitor.
And they're going to get this. They have them completely out of position, and Isurus, they're going to have to run through the barrels, through the chip to really go for the engage here. Xerxes still sitting in the backside, defending his back line right now. And if anything, they have held him off for a little bit, but the rest of the team has to run around through the back of the base. I believe that is Leona into the backside. Looks like they're going to engage. They go straight for this, but they knock him out. Leona ultimate. The RTT's going to escape this. Zach knocking them up, and Dynavox is just not. Yeah, he gets taken down by Fed, and it's Xerxes alone. He drops, and now you see Xerxes chased on there. The Gragas bro not so way severe, so she can't even do anything. The fight's advantage on it does land, but doesn't land the snare on top of that. And they're going to pick up those 2 kills. They're going to pick up the inhibitor, and they might even pick up the game.
I don't think they're going to quite be able to finish. So you still have 3 people up. I think the safer play would be to go for the Baron, but it looked like Isurus was not on the same page. I mean, the Shyvana pushed Lucian right out of the ultimate, and yeah, he just ended up, like I said, not getting locked down in the team fight, and he's just destroying their tank line. He does so much damage right now.
It's so tricky too, because I know what they're going for. They want that Leona stun to land the Shyvana knockup, but it's just like mistimed, and they couldn't get him in the air to go for the kill with Yasuo, because I want to think that Yasuo has the damage to pick him up now with the items he's being able to build if he just doesn't get interrupted.
Well, even still, Lucian still had his jump ability up. I don't think that they should have gone for that. I think they got a little pressure because they were out of position when that mid inhib was getting pushed, but I don't think that they should have put themselves in that position.
All right, well, we do see Baron picked up first one of the game in favor of paiN here. And you're seeing Venom, he just doesn't really care about Chalitza right there, but he's not able to do too much just yet. But we've seen in these fights how much of a nuisance he is. He's currently 5-2-10. You see Xerxes 1-5-13. He has that random zone picked up as well as Venom. And when they get into the backs of the team, it's so hard to run from them.
Yeah, the Trundle is just doing so much work in these team fights. He's been in 75% of the kills in the game. And he's just so tanky, and he does an insane amount of damage with that Blade of the Road King in Ultimate. He's just melting their tank line. The front line just instantly dies to him because he just hits them with the Ultimate, and they all just train the same target, focus the same target in front of them, and they just kill. They don't care who they catch. They don't care if they catch the Zac or the Leona or the Shyvana. They just hit him with the Trundle and instantly kill him. So I think there's a lot more synergy coming out of paiN Gaming's team comp.
And that's what's kind of tricky as well if you think about that. I mean, having that Trundle Ultimate available, you have, Shyvana, Leona, Zac who would have dived into the backside, but Sivir doesn't have a way to really get there. And if they all dive into the backside, then she's available to be picked off.
Yeah, Sivir's not quite the best tank killer in the game, and she also doesn't really have the best escapes in the game either. So she just kind of left there to fend for herself once all of her team goes in, and I don't know. It's just paiN Gaming is killing the front line so much faster than Isurus' comp can. Isurus has this really dive the back line kind of team. But between Trundle Pillar, Mumu Ultimate, Gragas knocking the back, and Annie Ultimate, they just can't quite get in there.
Well, let's see if they can do something a little bit different here. I mean, they're probably not going to want to fight up against a Baroned up paiN. They're actually not even going to bother defending against this turret here. And that will be another one. The 6th of the game going on for paiN here. They have the Super Maze pushing middle. They have the Baron buff. They have all the buffs they really need. They have the anti-stun available. They have the damage. They even have the Talisman available to go for an engage here, even with the Giant Spell on top of that for Minerva. And they're just going straight for this inhibitor turret. They don't really care too much about the damage that Isurus is doing because they know they have middle pushing.
Yeah, I feel like if Isurus gets even the perfect engage they want, it's going to be really hard for them to kill that insane tank line that paiN Gaming has. That Trundle is massive, and so is that Amumu. They're so tanky. They have the random ones completed. And Trundle's just going to take all of Shyvana's tank stats and just literally sit on that Sivir or that Yasuo, and nobody's going to be able to kill him.
The thing is, you pair it in, it's really hard for Sivir to kill a tank, but if you pair in the Trundle ultimate onto Shyvana, who gets armor from the Sunfire and the Randuin's, like, that last burster's not really going to help out too much.
Yeah, he's probably going to have like 300 and something armor when he ults at Shyvana. It's going to be insane.
All right, now you can see him tanking up this turret now. They're getting some good damage in the hands of BRTC, who's just so damn strong. He almost has the Infinity Edge done as well. On top of that, sitting on about 1,000 gold. They're just harassing their way. They're not letting them wave clear here. You're seeing Gen6, he's trying to make something happen. Cersei actually catches Marion. He's getting pushed out of his team. He has it available. The only one that doesn't lock down anyone yet, but we see Shyvana working towards the backside. He gets his knockup, but Dynamax doesn't have anyone else to facilitate this. He's just hovering in and out of the fight. Minerva's finally going to draw him, but Cersei doesn't care. He's still pushing in. They get the kill. BRTC finally gets attacked to the backside. He does go down, I believe, in the hands of Dynamax, who's still alive. He's still trying to chase him down. He saw Gen6 there, and just flash by picks up the kill on the Kami right there. And Venom trying to chase him down, but this is an amazing fight for Isurus. Venom, I don't think really Dynamax can take him down just because he's so tanky and so fast, but they get the 4 kills. Get the inhibitor back up. They keep their inhibitor and bottom turret alive. Fantastic job by Isurus right there.
That was just paiN being really greedy. I mean, I know they're pretty far ahead, but after they got the free kill on Nerit, which is one of their primary initiates, and of course Shyvana's just running into their team dying for free, they should not have dove to try to get those carries. They should have just pushed in, got the mid turret. I mean, they had the super minions pressuring in mid. They had all the pressure. Like, they had the game won right there at that point. And they just got really greedy for those kills, trying to kill those carries and chase them around. So really big mistake by paiN Gaming. And I actually looked at it when the Trundle ultimated the Shyvana. He had 300 armor and 270 magic resist.
Jeez.
So I don't think Last was going to do anything against that.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. I want to give credit, special credit to Dynamax though. I mean, it was such a weird engage for Isurus in my opinion. He couldn't really get in there to get that knockup he wanted, but he floated around the fight so perfectly.
Yeah, he actually had really good positioning in the team fight. I had to say the MVP of that fight though was the tower. It basically just killed all their squishies. I mean, I think Lucian tanked pretty much half his life on the tower. Same thing with the Annie and same thing with Kami. Kami, of course, tried to dive on that Sivir, ended up getting his body slam spell shielded, and then the base turrets ended up just wrecking him.
Yeah, really unfortunate for him, but Isurus showing some sign of life here, and I really like to see that out of a team. I mean, you can talk about how teams, they're being booed here by the fans who don't really have their backing of them, but even being behind that far in the game, they managed to come back. They managed to pick up those 4 kills, finally win a team fight here. I think their 2nd total overall in the game. Unfortunately for them, there's not really any objectives to pick up right now because Baron was, down. And Dragon, I believe, was down as well. And right now, I mean, yeah, you got the kills, you defended against it, but will paiN make that mistake again? Will they go for another?
I mean, they can't make that mistake on the mid turret. There's no, I mean, there's no turrets for them to time this time. I mean, they should be able to just walk in and pick it up for free.
Well, we do have Nerit. He's actually backing away. I was wondering if he's going to come in from the side here. And I want to say, I don't want to harsh on him too much, but the Leon ultimates haven't really been too convincing yet. And that last one alone, he slowed 3 people, but he wasn't really able to get the stun off that he was looking for.
To be honest, I think Leona should be using her ultimate to protect her carries at this point. They just need to stop trying to dive the back line, and they just need to be trying to focus all their damage on killing that front line.
Oh, here we go. Nerit looks like he's going for that last slingshot, trying to go for the engage. He does pull it off. He actually hits Surti, who actually gets very low already in the beginning. We see the knockup come out in the backside. He's keeping BRT really busy right now, as well as Chalito jumping to the backside. Minerva, he's going to drop, but he does get the stun off. He does defend his carries, but right now it's a mixed fight across the board. Kami getting dove in really far. They do get the kill on the Severe. He pops his own. He's going to stay alive, but Chalito and Left not the 2 damage dealers you really want to make happen here. They get the kill to Kami's there. He comes in back for the fight. He gets Venom knocked up, and Venom, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to escape this one. He's trying to do something here. He has flash available. He's going to go over the wall, but we see Leona follow him right away. Doesn't have the stun up just yet, as Nerit even drops over the wall. A great pillar actually comes out, keeps him away, and he might actually be able to escape from this. He's going to escape from this.
He's on the run.
3 men were attacking him. Obviously not the most damage dealers on Isurus Gaming side, but to still survive, to stay so calm and still escape for his team. I mean, imagine if he did die right there, that for Isurus, at least a good attempt for him.
Could have been Baron. I mean, I think that most of paiN Gaming would be back at the time. Shyvana doesn't really have any damage items, and of course, Zach isn't exactly going to melt Baron either, even though his W does percentage-based damage.
Actually, let's talk about that, because you've been mentioning this the whole game. Chalito, on Shyvana, hasn't built any damage items, doesn't have a Blade of the Rune King, and you were saying, you don't really agree with that off the bat of what he did build, but how different will these fights?
I mean, just by watching that last fight, the Shyvana and the Zac, 2-man killed the Lucian, and nobody peeled for Lucian. And I think that's a huge problem from paiN. They basically just left him defend on his own, he ended up using his jump into a wall and just like face planted into the wall, and he just got wrecked by the Siobhan and the Zex. I mean, they may not do that much damage, but they're eventually going to kill you. They're so tanky at this point. So I think it's really on paiN Gaming to focus on getting a little bit of peel for their AD carry. He couldn't really sit there and do free damage like he has been in these past team fights where they've been winning.
And you can see the damage he's doing right there. He has Infinity Edge done, has that Triforce, the Bloodthirster, Last Switcher, even has a Negatron Cloak to defend against, I guess, the engage on a Nary, maybe get a Banshee's Veil off of that. I'm not really sure off the top of my head. But we see
was actually pretty far out of position. Trundle's in base. Like, they're not really in a good position around Baron. I don't know if they're going to Baron dance this. Both teams are probably... usually you don't want to do a Baron in front of a Gragas who probably has, what, 700 AP right now in the game?
He's sitting on a whopping...
722 AP. Yeah, you kind of don't want to do Baron in front of that guy that does like 2,000 damage. So I don't think that Isurus is going to be in a position to Baron dance or to try to force a Baron in front of them. I think it's still just going to be another fight over this mid and hib.
And look what we see picked up real quick. I just want to put this up before we get this fight underway. We see a Thornmail picked up for Cholito, and we see a Triforce done for Venom.
Yeah, the Trundle hasn't really been dying in the team fights anyway, so of course he's like, hey, I mean, nobody's killing me. Might as well build more damage.
And you're getting tanky for me to just take it away from you. Yeah. So let's see how Isurus actually deals with that. We see paiN, they're being more hesitant now. They're respecting Isurus a lot more because these past two fights that have gone Isurus' way, and they're not going straight in, but they do get the engage on the backside. Lessmark gets caught, but we see Dynamux getting dropped very low. He actually drops before. Oh, he does! He gets a shield up. He's staying alive. He hasn't died just yet, but he finally goes down to BRTT. And you see them chasing him, coming finally towards the fight here as he was defending, I believe, the backline of his team for once. And you see BRTT get caught by Lessmark. They're going in for the dive. They do get the kill. BRTT picks that one up. They're going to get the hit. And look at these respawn towers with only Gentrix there, Nary to defend against us. And actually, Nary is going to go down. I'm not sure if Gentrix can survive against this 1v4 as he actually is getting domed out completely. They're going for the Nexus turrets.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to be game. I don't think Sivir's going to be able to hold off all four of these people.
Oh no, she's not. Gets Nova, gets killed by BRTT, and that will be paiN taking on the Nexus turrets, taking the first game in the Special 3 series against Isurus Gaming, and taking to a game number 2 here to see who advances on into the semifinals.